everyone. So in this video, I want to talk about the last days, where I want to show you the relationship of this term, last days, to the parabolic watch times of the night, where in Luke 12:38, Jesus names the second and the third watch times, which the second watch time begins at 9 and ends at midnight, where then the third watch time begins at midnight and then ends at cock's voice. So perceive, midnight is the half of Daniel's 70th week, which the second watch time is the first half and the third watch time is the second half, where if we go to Daniel chapter 12, the last verse, we read, "But you go to your ending, Daniel," okay, the time that will draw out until the last days, the ending of the present heavens and earth, "and you will repose," meaning die, "and you will then take stand towards your lot, towards the ending of the days." The ending of the days, where when we back up to verse 12, we see the statement, "Blissful the one dragging along," which would signify the end of the last days. The days plural here concerning 1,335 days is the second half of Daniel's 70th week, which is outlined in Daniel chapter 9, where there's an extended period of time here beyond the 1,260 days. So here we see 1,290, which is also extended out to 1,335 days, which the context of days point to Hosea chapter 6, where the double day here is the second and third watch times, where we read, "And he will enliven us from the end of a double day onward. In the third day, he will raise us up." So the watch times parabolically could be called a day, right? Where the third day is the third watch time. Where if we come down to verse 3, the black redness here is morning, the fourth watch time. So again, dragging along, like in the dragnet, the parable of the dragnet, or the feet of the body, the last who will come into the completion of Christ's body in the last days, is the third watch time day. It's the end of the double day, encompassing 1,335 days, which is the 3.5 years. So a day in this context could be several years, a term of years, which then the term of the second watch time, parabolically from 9 o'clock to midnight, would encompass the first half of Daniel's 3.5 years. And then the third watch time, which is the end of the double day, is the 1,335 days extended into the fourth watch time, unnamed here, because there is no blissful designation for the fourth watch timers, who are the left named, cursed of Matthew 25:41. The Aeonian fire judgment is the fourth watch time judgment, prepared for the Diabolos and his angels. The judgment of the left concerns the great day of the Lord here in Acts chapter 2, where again, when we back up here, and it will be in the last days, parabolically in relationship to the watch times, verse 17 is the second watch time. "God will pour out from my spirit on all flesh. Your sons and your daughters will prophesy." And the preceders here, who are dreaming due to dreams, are those who will come into the wedding at midnight, the second watch time of Luke 12:38. Conclusion. Each watch time here designates its conclusion hours. Cock's voice concludes at 3 o'clock, which is the dragging along and he who reaches to 1335 days, where then the blissful is cut off into the morning of the black redness at the end of the double day, which verse 17 of Acts chapter 2 is the second watch time, and verse 18 concerns those into the third watch time who are slaves, where here we see sons and daughters, and then your slaves, men and female slaves, will also prophesy into the dragging along, where then we see the context of signs and wonders, etc., etc. And then the sun will be darkened and the moon will not give its shimmer, etc., etc., into the great day of the Lord, which is the judgment of the left named, who are cut off from the allotment of the blissful ones. Blissful are those in relationship to the first watch time, unnamed here, because those, according to Eventide, come into the wedding at the first order of the uplight, verse 49, which I talk about in many of my videos. Verse 49. The uplight of the fire is the officiating spirits in a flame of fire according to that order, the rise first of 1 Thessalonians 4:16. And then here is your double day of Hosea, which the dragging along third day is the third watch time, when also God will pour out from his spirit. Again, midnight is the second watch time conclusion, where they're locked out. The playing ones are inside the door with bread, who are those being chastened, right? The playing ones, they are those who are at the beginning stages of learning, where then the instructions to the ones locked out are to request the bread, seek and you will find, knock it will be open to you, according to the blissful are into the cock's voice. All right, and then we see here that if you being evil perceive how to give your children good gifts, and how much, much more will the Father out of heaven give Holy Spirit to those requesting from him? Hence, yet also on my female slaves and on my men slaves, I will in those same days, the 1335 days, pour out of my spirit, and they will prophesy. In the third day, which is parabolically the third watch time, when those at the time of midnight are requesting 3 bread. Third watch time, third day, the end of the double day, which is the third watch time, beginning at midnight.